Hi there, I'm Helen, and I'm going to give you today 5 top tips for performing in front of an audience with confidence. This is tip 1. First of all, you want to ask yourself, what is going on in my mind? What am I thinking and what are my feelings about the upcoming performance? If you find that your feelings for the upcoming performance are, I'm really excited, I can't wait to do it, I'm really going to enjoy rehearsing this song, then carry on. That's really, really great. But if you find that you have niggling thoughts that keep repeating themselves and they're of the negative kind, they're sort of saying things like, oh, why am I doing this? I shouldn't be doing it. Oh, I hope it goes all right. I hope people like what I do. Then you're going to have to stop, take a moment and find a new way of thinking. Basically, you're going to have to change the record. Those kind of thoughts are really not helpful, and they're not true either because we don't know what's going to happen on the night. So if we keep a positive mind frame, then it's more likely to go well. So what you can do, you can take 5 minutes for yourself. If you can do it every day, great. Take 5 minutes, find a quiet space in a quiet room, and close your eyes, sit comfortably, and imagine how the performance is going to go. In your imagination and your mind's eye, see yourself performing with confidence. See yourself really standing there, enjoying what you're doing and feeling good about how you're singing and how it's going. When you look into the audience's eyes, they're also happy to be there. They're really enjoying your performance and everybody is really comfortable. The lights are on you, they're working well, the sound is great, and everything is just as you planned it. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's reality, it doesn't matter if it's a big stage or small stage in your imagination. What matters is that you see yourself doing it well over and over again. And that becomes the positive mantra that is in your mind. So when you begin your rehearsals and when you take yourself on stage, you feel good and you've eliminated any of those nagging thoughts, any of those negative thoughts that could really make a difference to your performance. You want to believe you're going to do well, and if you do, you will. Okay, so we're moving on to tip number 2 now. And tip number 2 is called creating the scene. Now, before you perform in front of an audience, you want to have rehearsed as much as possible in a setting which is similar to that of the actual performance. Now, that's really difficult to do because you may not have a stage or a venue, and you may not have a band and a room and all those kinds of things. However, there are a few things that you can do to practice how it's going to be even before it actually happens. For example, one really great thing to do is, if you're going to wear an outfit or a costume that's different to what you would normally wear in everyday life, basically you're dressing up, maybe wearing high heels or fancy shoes, then I suggest you rehearse and practice in those shoes. Not every day, but enough times that you feel good about it. Then when you get on stage, it's not going to be a shock when you're suddenly in different clothes, lights on you, in front of an audience, and you feel really out of yourself and strange. So have a go. Sing your song wearing a pair of high heels or the costume that you're going to wear. You can also do this with other things as well. For example, if you're going to use a microphone, you might not have a microphone, but you can use anything, a hairbrush, take you back to your childhood, or a deodorant bottle. It might seem silly, but actually rehearsing with something in your hand, like you would on the day of the performance, will really make you feel more confident on the day. You can go further with this. You can ask your friends and family to watch you, or, make the living room curtains the audience. Anything you can do to make yourself feel how it's going to be on the night, then do it. It's going to really help you when those nerves set in and it feels a little bit strange, but it won't, not as strange. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3. Tip number 3 is about learning your material. If you're learning a song and the music, You really want to make sure that you learn it so well. You want to learn it forwards, backwards, slowly, fast. You want to make sure that when you get up in front of an audience and the adrenaline is pumping and there's things happening all around, that you're not just going to go blank in the moment because you didn't quite learn your words or lyrics well enough. Now, if you're singing along with a song in the car, it's quite easy to think that you know the lyrics. You're singing along with the artist and you feel confident. Or you're singing at home, washing up or practicing at home. You can really think that you know it. But it's a whole different experience when you are in front of an audience and the lights are on you and people are expecting a show. And you've got to rise to that. So when you're learning your lyrics, really take time to do it. You can ask a friend to help you learn them if one will be so generous. You can practice in front of family members. Another thing you may want to do is take the lyrics and just look for common themes throughout. Look for the rhymes. The rhymes will help you remember them. Look for the story in the lyrics. Every song is a story. So if you can work out what the middle is, the introduction to the characters, the setting, and what the middle is, what's the chorus, what is the thing that repeats over and over and grabs our attention, and then how does it end? If you can put some structures into your learning, then it will be much easier to do. But really make sure you learn those lyrics, because when you stand there up on stage, you don't want to use your concentration to try to remember what the lyric of the third line was and all those things. You want to make sure that you can perform with confidence because you really know what you're doing. Tip number 4. This is all about taking a moment for yourself and concentrating the mind so that you really feel ready for the performance ahead. Now, when you go to a theatre or a music venue or the place that you're going to perform, there's usually a lot happening. People want to talk to you. The band wants to ask you a question. People want to say hi. And that's great. But just before you perform, make sure that you take at least 5 to 10 minutes to yourself quietly, where you can warm up your singing voice. Think about what you're going to do. Take some deep breaths in. And calm those nerves and really tell yourself positive things about what's going to happen. But it's not just before you go on stage. You can also take a beat and take a moment when you stand on stage for the first time. Just before you give the nod to say I'm ready to sing to the pianist or the band, just take a breath again for yourself. And allow your thoughts to settle, allow your mind to relax and be clear about what you're going to do. If you don't do that, it's really easy to get caught up in the adrenaline and the energy of the night. And before you know it, you're singing a song and you weren't quite centered and ready for it. So take a moment for yourself, and I think you'll really enjoy it a lot more if you do. Tip number 5. This is called focus on the story. Now you've practiced, you've put your best clothes on, you're ready to perform on stage and you want it to go really well. Almost perfect. In fact, if it went perfectly, you'd be so happy. But we can't focus on something being perfect. We can't make perfect our goal. Because when you perform on stage, when you sing lyrics and you sing along to music, it is about connecting to the people and the story in the song. So even though we want it to go really well and just as we'd planned, if we focus on it being perfect, sometimes the connecting with the story and the connecting with the people and the music gets a little bit lost. Because our minds become driven by one thing, and that's not making a mistake and getting it exactly right. But getting it perfect isn't always the greatest performance. Great performances come from the heart. Great performances come when we really let ourselves go and really feel the words we're singing and the music we're singing to. We want to connect with people. That is our goal. So focus on the story and what the song's about. Focus on the story of why we've come together and why people are here. And let yourself go. Enjoy the moment. And that will be a great performance. And that is my 5 top tips for performing confidently and comfortably on stage. I hope you've enjoyed them, and I hope your next performance goes exactly as you'd like it to. If you've enjoyed these tips today, then why not join me on the Stand Up and Sing online course, which is going to be available in summer. I look forward to seeing you then.